We're ready for the Stepladder Finals here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. It's going to be a fantastic Final Five who've advanced to our Stepladder here at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. I'm Lucas Wiseman. We're live on Bowl TV along with Matt Cannizzaro, getting started here with our opening match of the Stepladder Finals. It's going to be Kelly Kulick against Shannon O'Keefe in our opening match. Lanes have been really tough all week long here at the Cherry Bowl, and we expect a very challenging condition again here in our Stepladder Finals. As we get started with match number 1, Kelly Kulick taking on Shannon O'Keefe. And Kelly Kulick will start the match on the left lane. Kelly starts with a 10-pin. Do appreciate everybody tuning in this morning here live on Bowl TV at the Cherry Bowl. Would love for you to share the link on Twitter and Facebook. Try to get as many folks watching as possible. We've got a pretty stellar lineup for you here today. Our opening match, again, is Kulick versus O'Keefe. The winner to take on Liz Johnson in match number 2. Match number 3, the winner will bowl Diana Zavjalova. And then our top seed is Shannon Pluhowksy. No problems on the spare for Kulick. Again, this is TV style, just like you'd see on ESPN, ESPN2, one-game stepladder matches. First place, $15,000 this week. So now our first look in this match at Shannon O'Keefe as she steps up in the opening frame. Solid shot to get things started here for O'Keefe. Shannon O'Keefe, the new women's head coach at McKendree, also a Team USA member. Both these players Team USA members. And O'Keefe stepping up in the second, looking for a double to take an early lead. Nails it for another strike, and back-to-back strikes for O'Keefe, and she's up by 10 early here on Kulick. That one gets away from Kelly, leaves a 3-6-10 in the second. An open frame for Kulick in the second as she falls even further behind here, just 2 frames in. Down already by 15. Down by 25, I should say. Oh boy, things look a little tough for Kelly so far. 4-6-7 split. In danger of falling significantly behind after just a couple of frames.
So Lucas, Kelly didn't really make a whole lot of noise this week. She just kind of hung in there, and you know it's a challenging condition, so she seems to always be in the mix. But we didn't talk about her too much. She just ended up in there and struggling here today, again, on a very challenging 39-foot lane condition.
And Shannon looked really comfortable yesterday at the end of round robin, shooting a couple of big games to make it in. Looks like that confidence is carried forward here, although a 2-4-10, an example of just how tough this pattern is here this week. Missed by just a hair, and that's what happens. We do not expect terribly high scores today.
We saw players bowl decent games yesterday, and then maybe come back with something not so spectacular. Just goes to show you. I mean, shot making certainly key. Spare making very important.
And it's an open frame in the third. Both players working on opens now. O'Keefe up by 21. Nice crowd here at the Cherry Bowl. A very good bowling city here, Rockford, Illinois. A lot of big bowling fans in this area. Really enjoyed the opportunity to see the best women in the world come back to town here for the first time in a number of years. Here's O'Keefe trying to rebound after the split. Strike in the fourth for Shannon O'Keefe.
A ton of bowling tradition and history in this city as well. And goes back many decades, of course, the birthplace and the home of the ladies' tour. And that all was celebrated this week as well.
Winner of this match set to take on Liz Johnson next. And take a look at Kelly Kulick in the fourth. Couple open frames in a row for Kelly, trying to rebound here. That one goes through the face and leaves the split. Back-to-back splits for Kelly. And we told you, things are going to be tough today. They're going to have to work for it all day long. The fresh, especially brutal on this pattern, and we really didn't see any big scores until things opened up later in blocks earlier this week, but just a prime example of how tough they are here early on.
Well, and talking to a lot of the players throughout the week too, they said exactly that their one challenge was going to be on the fresh, and you know, they bowled the last 2 days pretty much on the fresh, and it took some time to figure out what was going to work. And well, clearly the ones who figured that out are the ones we're watching today.
A better shot from Kelly. He gets it in the pocket that time. Leaves the 10 pin, and that's the other thing that has made it so tough to score here this week at the Cherry Bowl. Is not only is the pattern very difficult, but when you do get to the pocket, the carry is tough as well. Brand new pins put in 3 weeks ago. And real tough to get the corners out this week.
Also a very slick oil, the Kegel Ice, provided by our lane maintenance provider here. And definitely played a little bit tighter throughout the week, and you know, not as much or as fast of a transition as they might be used to. So you put all those pieces together, and again, a little bit tough to carry. And if your speed's off, you miss a little bit, you certainly pay the ultimate price.
Let's see what Shannon does here on this right lane. She left a 2-4-10 last time. Looking for a double. Gets it. And Shannon certainly looks like she's the more comfortable of the two players at this point as we reach the halfway point of the match. And it is a 42 pin lead for Shannon O'Keefe. Shannon leaves the single pin, and still with a 40-plus pin lead here as we are in the 6th frame of our opening match of the Stepladder Finals here at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament. Our thanks to the staff here at the Cherry Bowl. Did a great job this week. Always nice to come and visit the folks here. John Summer, John Anderson, the entire staff here at Cherry Bowl. Thanks again for a great week. And of course, tournament director John Lacido as well, doing a great job making sure everything runs smoothly. Kelly not feeling it, gonna back off and start over again here. Kelly knows if she wants to win this match, she's got to get it going right here, down by 41. It's a better looking shot, but see how it didn't quite hook enough at the end. She didn't throw that one too bad, but just real tough to get to the pocket. .245 is the lead for Kelly. Now she's down 44 pins with the count if she makes the spare. She does not make the spare, and that is her 4th open in 6 frames. 69 in the 6th for Kelly Kulick.
Lucas, we just saw Kelly not too long ago, runner-up at the Queens in Reno, and then runner-up at the U.S. Open to Liz Johnson last year in Columbus. Of course, the U.S. Open champion in 2012.
Better shot from Kelly, gets the strike on the 7th. Unfortunately, she may have dug herself too deep of a hole here in the first 6 frames. We'll have to see how it plays out. Obviously, it's a very tough pattern. But Shannon O'Keefe has definitely looked pretty solid thus far. It's a 55 pin lead for O'Keefe with 3.5 frames to go. Shannon, another strike. Another strike in the 8th, and she'll go up by more than enough to be in good shape to win this match. And again, the winner takes on Liz Johnson, who's the number 3 seed. The number 2 seed this week, Diana Zavjalova, Queen's champion from 2013. And our number 1 seed this week, Shannon Pluhowksy, the lefty, Team USA member. .10 pin lead for Shannon on that shot. Shannon covers up the spare, and just needing to really stay clean the rest of the way here to guarantee the win in this opening match. Thanks for tuning in. Our live coverage here on Bowl TV, brought to you by the United States Bowling Congress. If you're a USBC member, this is one of the benefits of membership. Thank you for being a USBC member and helping to allow us to bring you coverage like this on Bowl TV. Kelly searching for a double out there. Knew off her hand that was big trouble. Leaves the baby split. Do us a favor and post the link to the live stream on Facebook and Twitter. You can also just share our status updates on Facebook and Twitter from USBC. Try to get as many folks watching as we can. Kelly covers up the baby split, but down by 55 with 2 frames to go. It basically looks like Shannon O'Keefe's going to have an opportunity to have a couple of frames of practice here at the end of this match. She won't get any practice after this match ends. Liz Johnson will come in and get 3 minutes.
I think this week there's a few different opportunities or angles to the pocket, and throughout the 34 games they probably explored all of them. And Shannon's got a few tricks in her bag for sure. As you said, had a great look yesterday late. The last couple games of match play to get in here, so she can lock up a look on the fresh. I think as the lanes open up, certainly will be an advantage for her. And then Pluhowksy being the lone left-hander in the top 16, of course the only one on the show today. She'll have the whole left side to herself, and we talked yesterday about that. You know, will it be an advantage or won't it be? And of course only time will tell, but should be interesting with the 3 games already bowled for the right-handers. By the time they get to that match, you know, will it be, you know, will Shannon have been able to figure out the fresh to a point to be in contention? Or will the lanes be just right for the right-hander? So it should be an interesting title match.
There's looks like a ball change there for O'Keefe, as she certainly is using these last couple of frames to her advantage. She has mathematically locked up the win now with that shot. And Shannon O'Keefe is going to move on to take on Liz Johnson. Doesn't get any easier for Shannon as she climbs the ladder, because the top 3 bowlers this week really bowled very well in qualifying and match play. So we should have some great matches coming up in the next hour or so. Shannon has a chance to shoot in the 220s this game, and I think that's, you know, that may be the score to, kind of the target score, I think, to win these matches.
Certainly a good gauge, and you know, looking at that step ladder again, all major champions except for O'Keefe. She's obviously been on the big stage and the podium many times in various capacities, but as far as the U.S. Open and the Queens, and she's always been so close, but has not broken through yet. Of course, Shannon Pluhowksy, the 2006 Queens champion. Diana won it last year. Of course, Kelly and Liz dominant in this U.S. Open type format and condition over the years. Liz winning her 3rd U.S. Open last year. So, not that Shannon O'Keefe has not proven herself, but certainly a win, you know, at this type of event too, only adds to her incredible credentials.
Again, Liz Johnson coming in next, the number 3 seed. And Shannon O'Keefe will advance here. Another ball change for Shannon as she's gathering as much information as she can here to close this match. 223, a great game for Shannon O'Keefe on a tough pattern and an easy win here in match number 1. Kelly gets her double. She's going to leave here unsatisfied today with her performance in this match. Couple of shots to go here to wrap up our opening match of the stepladder. Kelly yanks it, gets the strike though, 3 in a row. So it's going to put her in the 160s, but Kelly had a good week. Going to finish 5th, but certainly not the performance she hoped for here in our opening match of the stepladder. Again, O'Keefe will bowl Liz Johnson next. The winner of that match will bowl Diana Zavjalova. And then the winner of that match will bowl Shannon Pluhowksy in the championship match. Kelly Kulick, great week. 223 to 169.
Our next match will pit Liz Johnson versus the first match winner, Shannon O'Keefe. Liz, the lights will come on the practice for you when you throw the first ball. 3 minutes of practice. Ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, I'd like to remind you about the raffle. The proceeds go to support the BBL, where you can win a free trip to the Kendall Training Center in Central Florida, which includes flight and hotel. The value of more than $1,000. All proceeds from the tickets go to support the Veterans Link. And you may purchase those tickets here at the reception desk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We're ready to begin the second match of today's Stepladder finals. It is Liz Johnson versus Shannon O'Keefe. Liz does not get to start the match on lane number 9. All right, how about a nice round of applause for the ladies?
All right, ready to go with match number 2 in our stepladder finals here at the BPAA Women's All-Star. Liz Johnson came on, got her 3 minutes of practice on the championship pair, and looks like Liz will start the match. For those wondering, Shannon O'Keefe, you probably could see her warming up over on 7 and 8. She gets to stay loose, but does not get to bowl any shots on the championship pair. There's Liz, first shot. Leaves the 2-pin. Once again, we would encourage you to please share the link to the live stream on your Facebook and Twitter, and let's get as many folks watching as we can. Got a good audience here today. This is our second match of the stepladder finals. Liz Johnson against Shannon O'Keefe. The winner to bowl Diana Zavjalova in the next match. So Shannon O'Keefe fresh off shooting .223 in the opening game. Stepping up here to start off this game with a strike.
She certainly is dialed in, and the more strikes she throws, clearly the more comfortable she gets. We saw it yesterday, and this is momentum from that for sure. And she's got the look, she's got the right ball roll. She talked about earlier. She joked about it, but about a finger injury, and just means that she's been throwing the ball well. And, well, we've seen that so far today in her win against Kelly. Got
Another
two
great
shots
shot
here. Yeah.
10-pin lead for Shannon in the second. So back-to-back good shots to start off match number 2. Shannon covers it up. Frame and a half in here to match number 2. I think the potential is there for the scores to get a little bit higher as we move along throughout the step ladder. We'll have to wait and see. Liz Johnson bowling really well all week long. And wouldn't surprise me if she could pop a big game here. If she can get the carry, though. Light 2-pin on her first shot, now a 10-pin on her second shot this game.
Well, Liz with very little trouble getting to the pocket this week, and again, once you get there, a lot of single pins. Saw her bowl a game yesterday where she started with 6 consecutive 9 counts. And while shooting 192.0, was pretty good all week. It only took plus 37 to make the match play. certainly you're going to have to step it up here in the step ladder against the best in the world and the best this week.
I think it's a good bet that Liz is going to be around the 1-3 pocket a lot in this match. It's just a matter of whether she can get the carry to cooperate with her. So far, she hasn't. Liz down by 1 pin, 2 frames in. Liz tried to be a little softer with that one, it looked like, and leaves a 10 pin. Not a reassuring sign if you're Liz Johnson at this point.
Well, certainly it's a terrible feeling knowing that you're throwing it great and just can't quite get it to go. I mean, there's only so many things that you can do, you know, making little moves. And of course, you don't want to risk making a big move and giving away the pocket at all and making a big mistake either.
Liz walking down to have a chat with her Storm rep, Jim Callahan. Shannon didn't like that one off her hand and yanks at Brooklyn for the strike. And she's got a 2-pin lead after 3 frames. If you're just tuning in, this is the BPAA Women's All-Star Stepladder Finals live from the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. I'm Lucas Wiseman, along with Matt Cannizzaro, Bowl TV, providing live coverage of this week's event. You can find our live stream schedule of upcoming events at bowl.com/livestream. Bowl.com/livestream. Matt and I will be heading to Hong Kong in the coming weeks to bring you live coverage of the World Youth Championships. There's a big double from O'Keefe as she takes advantage of the Brooklyn and turns it into a double and a 12-pin lead after 3.5 frames. All right, so here's Liz Johnson. Let's see if she tries to tweak something to get some carry. Well, that one picked up early. Leaves the 4-7. Four frames in, Liz Johnson trailing by 14 pins. Another 10 pin. I think Liz made a ball change on lane 10. It didn't work out for her, and she went back to the other ball.
Well, again, you know, you're doing the little things, everything you can, all the tricks, hand positions. Move up, move back, whatever you think will get it out, and then with only one game to do it, you know, sometimes you got to take a risk, and it could either pay off or it could be a disaster. And it did not work out so well with that 4-7. Certainly, not the worst thing that could have happened, but as long as it keep it striking, then you know Liz is gonna have to keep trying something. Throw a late 3 or 4 bagger and at least stay in the match.
Oh, O'Keefe an opportunity to really take control here of this match. As we reach the halfway point, and Shannon with back-to-back-to-back strikes and increases her lead to 25. half a game to go. Pretty solid effort so far today for Shannon O'Keefe, with the exception of one errant shot, but the last two have been pretty solid. And O'Keefe pulls that one lucky to leave just a 4-7 on that shot. I think she'll be happy that it wasn't worse. Still up by 23 with a spare. I'm sure Liz just breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief that Shannon didn't strike again. Well, there's no doubt that O'Keefe's ball reaction looks way better than Liz Johnson's right now. See how that works out moving forward, because Diana Zavjalova will probably try to do something similar to what Shannon's been doing, or maybe even a little left, and you know that could have the potential to be a high-scoring match. And if it continues to open up like this, the right-handers could have a good advantage in the championship against Pluhowksy, but Pluhowski's looked pretty good on the fresh, so we can't count her out. But
well, I mean, for
it's a long ways away.
Every pair was pretty much fresh throughout the week, so she had a lot of time to try to figure that out. Not too many lefties in the field overall, so I think she got very comfortable knowing that she was going to a fresh pair, and worked on the equipment and clearly battled for the lead all week. Finally got there, and really took advantage late yesterday to pull ahead.
Looks like Liz is going back to the hypercell. It looks like if she gets it right, it doesn't pick up. If she gets it a little bit left of that spot, it picks up too early. It's just kind of, she's in a bad in-between zone that just is not working out well for her.
Well, I think that's where the amount of hand perhaps that Diana has will certainly come into play in the next match, where she's been kind of left of a lot of the players all week, and she can create that room. She's been working with her equipment a little bit as well, thinking of some different options, but certainly can get left in the wheel it a little bit. And at this point, I think Liz is certainly helping that case even more. Breaking down the outside part of the lane a little bit more too. The only issue there then would be the over/under that you mentioned. You miss to the right, too much wiggle, get it to the left, and it checks early. Whereas Pluhowksy is going to be a lot straighter.
Oh, O'Keefe's ball reaction looks pretty stellar right now. She's up by 28 with 3 frames to go. On pace to shoot 210 after shooting 220 the first game. Liz Johnson, she struck out, could still shoot 220, but she has not struck yet at all in this match.
Well, yesterday, late in the block in the match play, Shannon was going well. She was throwing the Deviate Diva, I believe, was her ball of choice, and we haven't seen that one yet here. But I have a feeling that as the matches progress, we might see that and to give her a similar shape, but a little bit different reaction as the lanes break down.
And you can see Shannon walking over talking to Sean Rash, who has come in to kind of help serve as a ball rep. Shannon, of course, DV8 staff, Sean Rash, Brunswick, both the same family, essentially. Another ball change for Liz. probably going to think to herself, why didn't I throw that one 5 frames ago? That's the way it always works, though, doesn't it?
Well, you got to come in with a strategy. I mean, they bowled 34 games on these lanes and this pattern, and they saw the fresh 2 or 3 times. So you got to make your decision and go with it.
Well, if Liz doesn't strike here, it's virtually over. And she leaves the 7-pin. And it sure looks like O'Keefe is going to advance and take on Diana Zavjalova in match number 3. It's been a tough match for Liz Johnson. Just could not quite get lined up enough to carry. She certainly was in the pocket quite a bit, but
well, and again, that
found it.
That was a great strategy all week long. You wanted to get to the pocket. Getting 9 spare was good.
Yep.
Just being around even. But when you get to this level of the event, that's where you need to separate yourself and find that trick that's going to get you one step above playing it safe. And it looks like Shannon O'Keefe has done that.
There's 3 strikes in a row, and Shannon O'Keefe is going to advance to our 3rd match, which would effectively be the semifinal, I suppose, to take on Latvian Diana Zavjalova in the next match. Then the winner of that will bowl Shannon Pluhowksy for the title. It's going to be really interesting to see how our semifinal plays out. Shannon rings a 10 for a shot in the 10th. So Shannon's going to go 223, 237 here, potentially. It's pretty solid on this tough pattern.
If you need a little extra confidence that your company supports you, well, how about they make a bowling ball with your picture on it?
That's right. Shannon's got the Shampire ball. It's got her looking like a vampire on it. The spare ball. Kind of cool.
We're going to see a ball change here on the fill. Same ball, different drilling or different surface. I believe that's the Deviate Rude Dude.
It's a good strategy to always try some new stuff at the end of the match when it's out of the wood, because she won't get any practice balls on this pair before our semifinal. It looked a little less angular, I guess. Gets a strike, 237. And Liz Johnson will just close things out here, much like Kelly Kulick did the match before. Liz Johnson, a great week, finishes with 175. Shannon O'Keefe, 237. And coming up, our semifinal between Shannon O'Keefe and Diana Zavjalova.
Versus Shannon O'Keefe. Ladies and gentlemen, there are racket tickets on sale for the fundraiser for the BBL, which does include an non-paid trip to the Kegel Training Center. You may purchase those tickets at the reception desk.
Practice time will start with your first ball.
Okay, and I get 3 minutes, you said? Make it fun. Yeah, exactly.
More hair than us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the semifinal match. Zavjalova versus Shannon O'Keefe. Diane is opted to have Shannon start the match on the left lane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me turn to opponents. The ladies are ready. Good luck on the board.
All right, so ready to get started with our semifinal here. Shannon O'Keefe against Diana Zavjalova. The winner to take on Shannon Pluhowksy for the title. And for the first time in our stepladder final, Shannon O'Keefe will start the match on the left lane. big start for Shannon O'Keefe. She delivers a powerful strike in the first frame.
She's making it look like a completely different pattern than we saw all week long. You said we did not see a whole lot of high games at all. The occasional 250, a couple 270s, but for the most part, 210, 220. Those were solid scores.
All right, let's see what Diana does here to kick things off in our semifinal. Pretty good shot. They're really pretty similar parts of the lane, it looks like. So we'll see who can really execute the best over the course of these next 9 frames.
Well, Diana took the lead here on day 3. That's when everybody bowled on the fresh. And she really had a great look compared to the early leaders, the rest of the field. And she battled back and forth with Shannon Pluhowksy throughout the day yesterday during all 16 games of match play. And then the last couple games, Shannon really pulled ahead. But when they were fresh, Diana certainly was the toughest in the building.
All right, second frame in our semifinal here. Another strike, back to back, and Diana takes an early 10-pin lead. Please take a moment and share the link to the live streaming on Facebook and Twitter, and let's get as many folks watching as we can here. Got a pretty good audience for our live coverage today of the BPAA Women's All-Star Stepladder Finals. Thank you for tuning in and joining us here on Bold TV, a product of the United States Bowling Congress. You know, really for the first time today, Shannon is being challenged out of the gates here. Liz and Kelly both started pretty slow against her, and Shannon took the early lead and really kind of just coasted from there. And right now, Shannon's already down by 10.
Shannon didn't have to press too much the first 2 matches. It was more just get comfortable. And again, she had a few frames to try some different things if she wanted to. But Liz didn't strike until the 8th frame, and Kelly started with 4 opens in the first 6 frames. So certainly now another test. And the key here, of course, is to just stay relaxed and keep doing what she's doing. Maybe don't even look at the scoreboard. Don't worry about what Diana's doing, and just keep throwing good shots. The more you think about it, I think the more you're gonna squeeze it, or you're just gonna overanalyze the whole situation.
Third frame, O'Keefe down by 10. This is a bad sign for Shannon.
Hard to know which rear dude she's throwing right now, if it's the same one or if she's already gone to the new one.
Yeah, there's another one sitting on the other rack over there, but you know, that's not a great sign when you leave back-to-back 10 pins like that. And Shannon has to know that she's going to have to put up another big game to have a chance to win this match.
Well, it looked like the new one, or the second one, had a little more shine to it. Get a little further down the lane.
Yeah.
Farther down the lane. And she's going to put that one off to the side, looks like. They're going to reevaluate the ball choice here, because 9 spare's not going to win this match.
Well, Diana will be able to really set the tone in these next couple of frames here. Diana wraps a 10. It's a little different than leaving a flat 10. That one's not as problematic.
She certainly is able to create that angle to the pocket. You don't see a lot of flat dimes on her behalf.
Just tuning in, you're watching Bowl TV's live coverage of the BPAA Women's All-Star here on Bowl TV. I'm Lucas Wiseman along with Matt Cannizzaro. Please be sure to follow USBC on Twitter at USBC. And also, make sure you subscribe to Bowl TV. We've got a lot of great video content for you here, and we hope that you will click the subscribe button. You can set up email alerts so you know when we post new videos here on Bowl TV. It's completely free, and if you're having a hard time finding the link to the subscribe button, it should be right below the video. Or if you look right in the description of this event, there's a link to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bowl TV here. It's completely free. I hope that you'll join us here, become part of the Bowl TV family. We've got almost 32,000 folks who have subscribed to our channel. So Diana up by 10 after 3 frames in our semifinal. Delivers a perfect looking strike in the fourth.
Lucas, Diana quickly onto the ladies bowling scene. Of course, a standout at Weber International, national champion there. But last year at the World Championships, I believe she picked up a medal and then rode that momentum all the way to the Queen's title. And she certainly is one at the top of the list now every time she walks in the building. And she certainly has the confidence and the poise, and certainly ready for a long career.
It's a ball change for O'Keefe. She puts a strike on the board in the fourth, still down by 10. And again, congratulations to Shannon O'Keefe and her husband Brian on their new positions. Brian's going to be the head of bowling at McKendree University. Shannon O'Keefe going to be the women's coach, head women's coach at McKendree. Shannon, a Team USA member for many years. Brian O'Keefe, still an assistant Team USA coach. But a great opportunity for them, and we wish them lots of luck at McKendree. As Shannon's ball change delivers results immediately. Back-to-back strikes, and we are tied now after 4.5 frames.
A couple more shots like that. 15 grand will put a nice little hot tub in the back of their new house.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Brian and Shannon moving next week. Diana, as you mentioned, Matt, recently graduating from Weber International, was a college bowling standout, and she's going to spend some time bowling over the course of the next year. And certainly seems like she's in her prime right now, running the Queens last year and bowling well this week. She really bowled well at the European Championships a few months ago, won the intercollegiate singles, so she's really been on a roll, and is hoping to continue that success in as many events as she can find to bowl in. I think she's planning on bowling against the men in the PBA Tour. She's going to Vienna, she said, to bowl the Vienna Open in October. So she's going to live the dream here for a while, see if she can make it work. And certainly proving she's one of the best.
Doing all right so far.
Yeah,
paying her way.
Can't complain with the results so far, that's for sure. Zavjalova working on a double. That one comes in light, gives a little tickle to that 7-pin and gets it to go. And that is 3 in a row, and now a 20-pin lead for Diana Zavjalova after 5.5 frames. someone asking in the chat if there's a shot clock for this event. Diana, obviously a little bit slow. Takes her time. But
Aaron Smith isn't here. So.
We've got no shot clock here on Bull TV. We got all day. We can.
He's our shot clock guy, and that's right. We have nowhere to be till 5:30.
Shannon makes a good shot, leaves a 10-pin. But again, it's not the same kind of flat 10 that she left in the second, third frames. But regardless, she now trails by 21 in the match. Pretty high scoring semifinals so far, and I was kind of thinking we might be in for some decent scores in our semifinal. That is proving to be true so far. But we still have 4 frames to go. Now that's not a great sign. Looked like she pitched that a little bit right. Leaves the flat 10 on that one. Pitched it right, didn't quite catch it. Shannon quickly falling into some trouble here as this match will start to slip away from her if Diana throws a couple of more strikes. Good crowd here at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford. Like I said, it's a good bowling community. A lot of history here at the Cherry Bowl. They've had a lot of TV shows over the years. Big supporters of women's bowling. Holding this event to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the formation of the Ladies Professional Bowlers Tour, although currently not in existence, but maybe one day we can work to get that back up and running. As you can see by watching here today and watching the Queens Finals just a few weeks ago, there's a lot of great women's talent out there. At least we're able to showcase them for you here on Bull TV. Diana looking to take complete control of this match, and she does. There's another strike, and she is up 32. That is 4 strikes in a row and 6 out of 7 to start this semifinal against Shannon O'Keefe.
Well, both players throwing great shots, and again, a little troublesome with the carry, and all it takes is a couple, especially when you're going against Diana, who she can string them. She strung them. She's one of the few who had some big games this week.
I'll tell you what, on Wednesday in the final round of qualifying, when everybody was struggling, had their heads hanging low, and looked really confused and baffled, she just was annihilating them, and that's when she made her move, and she stayed near the top of the standings the rest of the way. Well, that one comes up light. That 10's going to go, though.
Huge break there.
There's a big break. You can see the pin rolling on the deck, and it takes out the 10, and that is massive right there.
And if that rack was a little bit slower, that came back around.
Yep.
She could have got 1 or 2 more.
Leaves the 2-8 only, which is a huge difference from the 2-8-10. This is a very makeable spare as opposed to a nearly impossible split.
So when they were fresh and they were challenging, she really rose to the occasion. And as they opened up, I think the playing field leveled a little bit. But after this, they'll be a little bit different. It'll be the winner versus the left-hander. So totally different dynamic now coming up in the championship match.
Double wood here for Diana. Covers it up with no problem. She's still leading by 30, but that does give Shannon still an opportunity to maybe mount a comeback here. But Shannon desperately needing strikes. in the 9th and 10th frame. Or sorry, the 8th and 9th frames. O'Keefe delivers a great strike, trying to hang in there. Her max score with 2 frames to go is 237. Diana Zavjalova going at a 237 pace. And when we say going at a 237 pace, you just add 20 to each frame, 8th, 9th, and 10th, and that's kind of where we get that number. Obviously, count will vary. But this is a big shot for Shannon. She can cut the deficit down to 20 pins with another strike here in the 9th. And just maybe give herself a chance to win the match. But look at the 4-pin. That ball went a little bit high on her, checked up, and leaves the 4-pin. And now it gets really difficult. Virtually impossible here, down 30. She's going to need some help out of Diana in the last couple of frames.
I knew Brian O'Keefe, Coach Deep as they call him, checked in a little bit earlier on Twitter, and so he's probably home. I would say he's pulling his hair out, but well, certainly frustrating. Throwing great shots here, and just not getting the carry here after 2 terrific matches. But again, as you pointed out immediately, Shannon's first 2 opponents didn't really put any pressure on her.
So Diana stepping up here, 9th and 10th frames, looking to close out the match. Strike in the 9th. Not going to have to do a whole lot of work here in the 10th frame.
So that ball just going through the pins so well, and she's got another one on the rack, a backup. So
I think she needs 6 pins on 2 shots to lock up the win, which you would assume would be no problem. So it looks like Diana Zavjalova going to take on Shannon Pluhowksy for the title in our championship match. Ten pin. And it's a great run for Shannon this week, but I think, Matt, that ultimately the championship match is going to come down to the 2 bowlers who probably bowled the best this week, Pluhowksy and Zavjalova, over the course of the 34 games of qualifying match play.
well, they pushed each other all day yesterday through the 16 games, and it really came down to them bowling each other the last 2 games. And it just worked out where they didn't meet face-to-face until game 15, and then, of course, being 1-2, they battled in the position round, and Shannon had a small lead going into that final game, and Diana needed to win by 19 and did not, but here she gets the opportunity to at least bowl 1 game on this TV pair, and then Shannon will come over, and she hasn't bowled since even prior to the start of the stepladder, so she got a little bit of practice. But essentially, it's going to be fresh for her.
236 for Zavjalova. Obviously, Shannon O'Keefe can only max at 217. So our championship match coming up next. And, honestly, Shannon O'Keefe's going to bowl a great 3-game set for the 3 matches. Unfortunately, just not quite enough in the semifinal.
And she will finish third, take home $6,000, and certainly that will pay for some Nebraska Husker decorations or
That's right.
or something at the new house. Certainly the best of luck to the O'Keeffes as they move on to their next chapter. We'll miss seeing them around the building and around town on the softball field. But they'll certainly be great assets to the McKendree program, and we'll see them down the road at various events. Corner to the proposed live stream schedule quite a few times throughout the year.
Well, 236-207 final score as Diana Zavjalova defeats Shannon O'Keefe in our semifinal, and our championship match will be coming up in less than 5 minutes here.
We're starting early.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the finals of the 2014 BPAA All-Star. Shannon Pluhowksy versus Diana Zavjalova. And Shannon has opted to have Diana start the round. So how about a nice round of applause for the finalists? This is it. $15,000 for the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the winner.
So here we go, our championship match here of the Stepladder Finals at the BPAA Women's All-Star here at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois, live on Bowl TV. I'm Lucas Wiseman along with Matt Cannizzaro, ready to get started with our championship match. Diana Zavjalova against Shannon Pluhowksy for the title and the $15,000 first place prize. And Diana will start the match on the left lane. Leaves a 10-pin to kick off our championship match. Yeah, this is a matchup of the two bowlers who really have bowled well all week long, and we're near the top of the standings in match play. Diana, the number 2 seed. Shannon, the number 1 seed, coming into this championship match.
Look, Shannon was, again, one of a few left-handers in the field this week. A field of 75 at the All-Star. 103 bowlers total this week. Shannon was around the top throughout, and then found her way to the top spot late yesterday. And she really ended up having a great look again. I don't think it's going to be a matter of somebody getting lined up here. I think both players are going to be in the hole, and it's just a matter of those corner pins cooperating. But we kind of knew that coming in. We saw that yesterday as they got more comfortable. Shannon did it perfectly last night. The more games you bowl, the more comfortable you get with the approaches, the atmosphere, pair to pair even. Get an idea what some of the characteristics are.
Our championship match here in Rockford. Going to end what was a great week at the BPAA Women's All-Star and also the Senior Women's U.S. Open, won by Paula Vidal yesterday. A seven pin for Pluhowksy.
Yeah, they're both throwing it so well. This match could be 250 to 240 or 2-0 to 190.
It sure looks like early on it's going to come down to who can carry. Right now it's neither of them. 3 shots and 3 single pin leaves. Thanks again to the staff here this week at the Cherry Bowl for taking care of everything and making sure that we had a great week. And also our fantastic tournament director, John Lucido, helping to make things run smoothly for all of the participants this week. Second frame. And Diana gets the 6 to tap the 10 just enough for our first strike in the championship match. So double for Zavjalova. Opens up an 11-pin lead. This is our championship match here at the BPAA Women's All-Star. Pluhowksy versus Zavjalova for the title. Right now, Pluhowksy finds herself down by 11. Unlike Diana, Shannon unable to get the tap on the 7 for the strike. On that same lane, Diana had a pretty similar hit that the 6-pin tapped the 10 enough to get it out. That time the 4-pin taps the 7 but doesn't get the hit.
Well, we saw the same situation with Liz Johnson earlier. At this point in the week, and with less traffic on these lanes, the straighter approach to the pocket, ball just not making the turn, getting that corner pin out. And the players who have been able to get around a little bit, create a little room and angle, have succeeded, not incredibly, but enough.
So 3 single pins in a row for Pluhowksy. She'll look to change her fortunes here and hits the strike. Gives the pins a thumbs up. Our next live event here on Bowl TV is going to be from Hong Kong at the World Youth Championships. You can find our live stream schedule at bowl.com/live stream. We've got a lot of great events coming up the rest of this year here on Bowl TV. The World Youth, the PABCON Women's in Colombia. We'll have the World Cup in Poland, the World Men's Championships in Abu Dhabi. So we got a lot going on here on Bowl TV between now and December. That is another fantastic shot from Diana. That is 3 in a row. And she is up by 22 after 4 frames. And Diana looking exceptionally tough here early on in this match. Pin. Still up 21 with the spare. Big shot coming up here for Pluhowksy. She has a chance to cut the deficit down to 11 with a double here in the 5th frame. Does get the carry for the double, and now trails by just 11. A chance to pull back to within 1 pin with a strike in the 6th. And things will suddenly be very close again if Shannon can strike on her next shot.
Well, certainly we'd expect nothing less out of this championship match. They pushed each other all week long.
It's a big shot right here. She wanted it, she got it. That time she got the 4 pin to go into the gutter and take down the 7. And that is 3 strikes in a row, and this thing is virtually even again.
Saw a little bit of emotion out of Pluhowksy there. And
you don't see that too often.
You don't see that too often, exactly. But she certainly liked that one. And
it was a big shot. Now she's within 1. Now all the pressure right back on Diana here in the 6th frame. Great shot. Answers with authority there in the 6th. And she'll have a chance to push the lead to 11 if she strikes again in the 7th. Fabulous championship match so far. It's about what we expected. We've got 4 frames to go. Things not decided yet.
got 2 very accomplished players here, and I think Diana has gained a near lifetime of experience in the last year or 2. And it certainly shows in her confidence, especially on that last shot.
Another big shot here, gets the carry, and that's a double. Diana up 11 now.
If you remember correctly, last year at the USBC Queens, Diana entered as the #1 seed, missed a single pin early, and I think that changed her whole mindset a little bit. And maybe one of the best things that could have happened to her at that point. She went on to regain her composure, win that event, and has been on a roll, a tear even, ever since. Just a totally different player than we saw prior to that night.
Shannon packs it in there for a strike 4 in a row for her. Back to a 1-pin match. Three frames to go. Pluhowksy down by a single pin. And with each strike the players throw, it ratchets up the intensity level in here and adds to the pressure. Let's see if Shannon can throw her 5th consecutive strike. 8th frame. And the 10 doesn't go. That was a little light. I think off her hand she knew that she was going to need a little help to carry that one. It does not get the 10 out. Now she trails by 2. Well, if Diana steps up here, strikes in the 8th, she's up 12, and then strikes again in the 9th, she'll be up 22, going into the 10th and be in pretty good position. But this is about as high pressure as it gets right here, and we'll see if Diana is up to the challenge in these final 3 frames. Leaves the 10 pin. That keeps things very close. Spare here, it's 1 pin lead for Diana with 2 frames to go. This is when you want to get on your Facebook and Twitter and post the link so your friends can watch the last couple of frames here of what is a fantastic championship match here at the BPAA Women's All-Star. Gotta have this spare right here. No problem. Covers it up. Virtually even with 2 frames to go. You can see the scoreboard at the top of your screen. Diana Zavjalova leading by just 1 pin with 2 frames left. See Shannon Pluhowksy pacing in the background there. She's walked over to talk to her ball rep, Jim Callahan, about the last couple of frames. So we have 2 frames to go and Zavjalova leading by 1 pin. Comes up light and it's disaster for Diana. 2, 4, 8, 10 in the 9th. Wow. The first shot we've seen that's gotten less than 9 in this championship match. And it comes at an awful time. Not only is it a very difficult split to make, it also comes on a spare. She loses count and now trails by 3 even if she makes it. It's a game changer right there. It is makeable. Got to hook the ball across. Usually the easiest way to make it, hit the left side of the 2 pin. Ricochet the 2 kind of over toward the 10 and hope to make it. Let's see if she gives a run at it here. It's got a chance, and she cuts it a little thin right in front of the 10 pin. A great effort there at the split, but it is an open frame in the 9th for Zavjalova, and Shannon Pluhowksy suddenly in control. Pluhowksy now up by 14. Sudden change of events right there in this title tilt. Pluhowksy can put this thing away in the 9th and the 10th. Messenger coming across. It misses the 7. Spare here. Pluhowksy up by 13 going into the 10th. Pluhowksy covers it up. The best that Zavjalova can shoot is 223. Shannon Pluhowksy, if she goes 9 spare strike, that would be 225. So Pluhowksy needs a mark. Good count on both shots for the shutout. Final frame, Pluhowksy trying to lock it up, leaves the 7 pin. She has a little bit more work to do here. She'll need the spare and 9 pins to shut her out by 1. Diana can shoot 223. Pluhowksy would shoot 224 if she makes the spare and gets 9. Shannon covers it up. So here we go. The shot to win the title. 9 pins. And Shannon Pluhowksy gets 9, or gets a strike there as it goes late, and that's enough. Shannon Pluhowksy wins the BPAA Women's All-Star. And she will take the title here, heads down, and gives a hug to her ball rep, Jim Callahan. 225 for Shannon Pluhowksy as she takes the title. We'll watch Diana finish up here in the final frame, but congratulations to Shannon Pluhowksy, your winner here in Rockford. It just came down to one bad frame for Diana Zavjalova in the 9th. She left a 2-4, 8-10, and that ended up costing her down the stretch. Diana makes the spare. Pluhowksy finishes with 225. Diana going to be at 213 as a maximum score. Award presentation coming up next as Diana closes it out here with a 9. 225 to 212, your final score here in Rockford. There she is, Shannon Pluhowksy, your winner at the BPAA Women's All-Star Tournament here in Rockford. Trophy presentation coming up right now here on Bowl TV. We'll stay with it. And then we'll try to get a word with Shannon Pluhowksy before we go off the air.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce to you the champion of the 2014 BPA All-Star, Shannon Pluhowksy. Congratulations, Shannon. On behalf of the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, we're pleased to award you your championship base, as well as this check for $15,000 in our congratulations. How about a nice round of applause for Shannon, the champion of the BPA All-Star event for 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for coming out. We appreciate the support. Thank you, John Summer, and the staff here at Cherry Bowl, but absolutely the best. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Rockford. Congratulations again, Shannon, champion. $15,000.
See if we can get a quick interview with Shannon Pluhowksy here.
Add 209, please.
Just where do you people think you're going? We've got to give away some prizes. We've had raffles.
All right, we'll do a quick chat with
Some good prizes we're going to give out here in a little bit.
Shannon Pluhowksy here. She puts down the hardware.
Hang in there if you want the last minute if you'd like to check out the video.
Well, Shannon, congratulations. And, you know, it was a pretty tough week, tough lane conditions all week long. How'd you manage to battle through on these tough conditions all week long?
I really just tried to make the best shots I could, keep the same tempo through everything, and just make spares. You know, that the last game was a brutal match. You know, we were both get a few strikes and then you leave something and just try to knock it down.
Diana really kind of had you on your heels in that championship match there for a while and stepped up in the 9th frame. And did you feel like once you had that opening, you'd be able to just step up and kind of take it?
You know, always if there's an opening, that's your goal, is to step up and take advantage of it. It was a good game. You know, we were going back and forth, both making good shots. She let that one get away a little bit. So my goal was to stay clean and good count, and you know, I knew I could win.
What were your feelings going into the 10th frame, knowing what you needed to win the match? Were you confident that you were going to be able to get it done?
I was confident I could make a good enough shot to leave something I could make, and then on the field to just do the same thing again. And you know, I told myself 9's a win, so just try to do the same thing I had done the whole game, because I had gotten 9 a lot.
Thanks, Shannon. Congratulations.
I do want to thank Storm and Rotagrip for making the best balls available on the market right now, and the BPAA, Dexter, High Five, and all of our other sponsors here. Rockford's a great city, and I love bowling here, so thank you to everybody.
Great. Thanks again, Shannon Pluhowksy, and congratulations on the win here today at the Cherry Bowl in Rockford. That's going to wrap it up, our coverage here on Bowl TV of the BPAA Women's All-Star. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lucas Wiseman for Matt Cannizzaro. We appreciate you and your loyalty to Bowl TV. We'll see you next time here on Bowl TV when we are in Hong Kong at the World Youth Championships.
Last chance if you want to buy a Kegel ticket. Kegel Training Center, last chance.